Shawnee. Welcome back. As you can see, I've already started getting ready. I used the paint base from Colored Rain in the shade Wheat, and now I'm going in with this palette from Viseart, the Cool Mattes palette, and I've started with this shade here. Okay, so usually I'm at work right now doing a get ready with me at work, but today is a get ready with me for work because I only have a few people today, which usually in the summer, people in private practice will often experience the ebb part of ebb and flow. Like, it's the summer months, people are going out, enjoying their life, getting some sun. You know, people have graduated, just a lot of different things that make them like not come to therapy. And there is an ebb and flow of therapy clients. Like, there's definitely an ebb during the summer and then it kind of picks back up, I would say, like around September, August, September, and stays pretty consistent until maybe like January. And like February, March, it kind of picks back up. Then, you know, it ebbs again in the summer. So there is an ebb and flow, and you really have to get used to it because that really, like, you know, that kind of tells you when you can and cannot spend all of your money. I think I'm going to go in with this shade and maybe even this shade here. I'm trying to do just like a simple kind of cool thing. I don't know if I'm going to achieve it, but we're going to try. So yeah, it's very common, and I have to keep reminding myself that because like it happens every year. And honestly, when I was working at a university counseling center, it was nice because I was like, the summer is chill, I'm still getting paid, I get to take a paid vacation. And then in private practice, I'm like, oh my God, where's everybody? Oh my God. So the other day I really had to reach out to several of my friends and colleagues and be like, oh my God, are you seeing less people? Am I a bad therapist? Am I going out of business? And everyone's like, no, I'm seeing fewer also. So that really helped to like normalize and validate things, but it's still like, still very anxiety provoking. And speaking of friends and colleagues, so when you're a psychologist or when you're not yet licensed, you have to be under clinical supervision. So I provide supervision for several people. I'm going to go in with this shade. Either at the beginning of their career, like they're in training, or when they're at the postdoc level, when they are studying for their licensing exam. But once you're licensed, you are not required to get supervision. You still have to do like continuing education and stuff like that. You have to do a certain amount. And since I am licensed in 3 places, like I have to make sure I meet all of the requirements for licensure in each one. Just a lot of different things, which is fine. But because you don't have to get supervision, it can be kind of lonely because you're kind of just working by yourself, doing your own thing. So a lot of us will do consultation groups with one another. I kind of want to use something from this Bridal Satins palette. Let's try this one. So I don't want to do too much, but I want to do a little something. So a few of us are doing a consultation group. Now, we have been meeting virtually because of all the jazz over the past 3 years. Ooh, wrong shade. But the other day, we decided to do an in-person kind of little get-together. Now, we're all sort of connected in some way. Like, one of the people is a previous supervisee of mine, and then one of the people is a friend of hers, and then the other person is a friend of that person, you know, so we all kind of know each other somehow, some kind of way. And we've been meeting bi-weekly for like 3 years now. But we decided to meet in person, and you guys, it was so much fun. Like, I am so glad that I went because I know they had another event and I know that I didn't go. I think that was when I was like in the depths of my depression. I'm gonna go right here. And I didn't go, but I'm so glad I went to this one. I just had so much fun. I cannot even tell you. And I wore the cutest outfit. I'll hopefully remember to post a picture in here. It was this little romper that was super cute. I posted it on Instagram also if you want to see. But it was a super cute romper. Super like breathable. It was a nice like light fabric because honey, we were sitting outside in the 90-degree weather plus the humidity. It was like we were all just sweating, but it was so much fun. I laughed so hard and I had a really good time, and I'm really thankful for this consultation group because like it's good to be able to have colleagues you can sort of get referrals from, like talk about clinical issues, you know, professional development kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm really glad that I went. And I shared, like I'm always just like laughing, having fun. So I shared this story about my mother that I have to share with you all. I'm trying to clean this up a little bit. I like how I'm trying to clean it with a dry rag. So my parents are in their 70s, you know, and you know, some stuff they're just not like into, like using Amazon and things like that. Like I know some older folks do, but my parents are just like, you know, they got 4 kids. We can all do it for them, right? But the other day, my mom called me and she was like, I really want to learn how to use Amazon because I don't want to have to always ask you all to do things. Which I'm like, mommy girl, that's fine. It's probably easier for me to just do it, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, when I see you in July, I'll show you how to do it. Now she can also ask my other siblings who are actually like either they live there or they're like 10-15 minutes away. But I don't know if it's I have more patience. I don't know what it is. But my mother called me I'm in Maryland, DC, and she's in Los Angeles, California. So I'm like, okay, do your parents do that? Do your folks be like, I know you're like on the other side of the country, but can you fix my computer? Girl, no, I don't know. Anyway, so we have that conversation. And I'm like, yeah, you can ask like my niece and my sisters and brother and stuff. And she's like, no, just show me when you get here. I'm like, cool, I could do that, girl. So I'm minding my business. This was one day. And then the other day, I don't know if it was a day after or something, my mother calls me. Hey, I'm going, which one am I going with? I don't know. One of these. So my mother calls me and I'm like, hey girl. As I've gotten older, I just like joke a lot more with my mom. I call her girl, girlfriend, honey child, and mother. Or sometimes when we're talking about my dad, I'm like, your husband. She's like, you mean your father? I'm like, whatever. He was your husband first. So my mother called. What am I doing here? I'm going to take some primer first. This is the Fashion Fair Skin Priming Serum. I'm just going through it. I actually have liked it more as I've used it. I don't think it's anything special, like compared to like my Urban Decay primer, but it's not bad. I wouldn't mind purchasing it again. Like it's not bad, but I'm not sure like how it's good. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like it's just like, it's not bad. It's okay. So what was I saying? My mother calls me and I think I had just finished like working out. Maybe I came from yoga or something. Oh, I gotta tell you about something about yoga. I'm gonna go in with this Lisa Eldridge foundation, but I'm going to mix the LA Girl Pro Color foundation mixing pigment in blue because this is a little too red. So the blue makes it more neutral. Again, so my mother called me and I'm like, hey girl. So, you know, me and my mom will gossip and stuff. We'd be like, girl, did you hear? And so I was thinking she was calling to talk about somebody. And she was like, hey, can you buy a hoe on Amazon? Now, I am a certifiable fool, right? So, and I'm just getting from like coming back from yoga or something. I would say just like in the midst of something. So my brain wasn't just quite like alert. And I was like, a hoe? Like a whore? And she was like, no. Girl, you gotta specify. Like, she was like, what am I gonna do with that? I was like, girl, I don't know your life like that. So I am cackling. My dad is in the background cackling. And listen, there ain't nothing wrong with being a hoe. Okay? Sometimes I got my moments. And I don't use that word in a derogatory way. I'm like, get it on, girlfriend. But I'm like, girl, I don't know your life. I don't know what you be doing. So I'm like cackling, and my mom is like, you're so stupid. Which just made me laugh like even harder. I'm just like on the floor laughing so hard. And if you know me, you know it's not uncommon for me to be sitting on the floor. I don't know why. I just enjoy sitting on the floor. Like, I'll be in my room on the floor. I don't know what it is, but it's a comfortable spot for me. So if you've ever talked to me, you're probably like, are you sitting on the floor? I'm like, yep. So I am cackling. My dad's in the background laughing. And my mom is just like, you are so stupid. You're so silly. I'm using this spatula to mix the foundation mixing pigment along with the actual foundation. So then I was like, Mommy, you have to specify, girl. You have to say like a garden hoe. You can't just be coming out here talking about, can I buy you a hoe? And so it has been a story that I am literally telling everyone. And my mother is like, because y'all, my mom is so holy, but she can still joke around and stuff. So I have been telling everyone what my mom is trying to buy off Amazon. And I was like, girl, you know what? You can get everything off Amazon for real, so I could check. And it just goes on and on. So I told my brother, because I called my brother because he was at the gym and he dropped a 45-pound weight on his foot. I was like, you better be glad you didn't break that foot. Like, I think he like, I don't know if he sprained it or something, but he has a little boot that he has to wear. And so of course my family, we were going in on him about that. Oh my God. So one, we have like this family group chat and somebody was like, you're too young to like have your pimp walk just yet. We are so stupid, but we really like fooling around and messing with each other. So I told my brother, because my mom has been cracking on him for something he did in Vegas. I can't even tell you. So he's like, oh man, now I'm gonna mess with her about this. Oh my God. So it's just been hilarious. But I did get the garden hoe for my mother off of Amazon. But I am going to continue believing she wanted a different kind of hoe because I love it. But yeah, my brother dropped this 45-pound weight on his foot. And so he has to wear a boot for a little bit. But he's going to Vegas for my birthday, and he was like, oh, don't worry, I would have been out there with my boot on. So he is not missing this trip for nothing. But I think by then he should be out of the boot. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so there's the foundation, and I'm going to go in with this concealer, which is the Tarte PowerFlex concealer. And it's not a favorite of mine, but it's been fine. I just want to use it up. I've actually taken the stopper out, so I am getting down to the end of it, thankfully. But you know, when you take the stopper out, you realize just how much product is left. Speaking of product, so Jan, my friend Jan Ban, she talked about in a video her like routine, her skincare routine, and she has been mentioning this CoverFX snail mucin, and I think it was Tara who also said it was good. But y'all, I can't, after that story about the giant snails up in Florida, I cannot, I just feel like I can't do it. I can't buy it, and it's like on sale at Ulta in a couple days or something. I just can't put snail on my face. I cannot get past it. I don't know. This could be like a magic liquid, and I can't do it. Let me know if you've tried it. Like, maybe if I close my eye. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't. And Jen is like, it is so good. It's so good for your skin. My skin has never looked better. And I'm like, I guess my skin gonna have to look bad, girl, because I just can't get on with this snail-ish. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I can't do it. What time is it? I'm over here gabbing. I don't know what's happening with this weather. How's the weather where you are? It has been like, duh, it's summer. It's been so hot, but the air quality has also been trash. And I'm from California. I'm from Los Angeles. So if I'm saying the air quality is trash, you know it's trash. Because we're like used to all the smog and pollution and stuff. What's up, that word? Inappropriate word. Oh my god, y'all, I just read something about Kelly Clarkson. You know, she's my bestie. Not really, I wish she was. Talk about that later. And she, you know, she got divorced not too long ago. Maybe it's been a while now. But she recently said that she could not have, like, gotten through her divorce without therapy and antidepressants. And I... excuse me, I just got like blown away by Kelly. I am just so glad that she said that, because I think there continues to be this like stigma against like mental health medications or psychiatric medication, just because like I don't know. And even as a therapist, you know, when I first got into the therapy community, I'm like, oh, I don't know if you need meds. Now I'm like, girl, not that I tell people about getting meds like the day they walk into my office, but if I've noticed that their symptoms aren't remitting, their symptoms aren't like improving over a period of time that I know is like diagnostic, like if it has to be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever, I will often recommend that they at least get a medication evaluation. Doesn't mean that you're going to take the meds, but it does mean that you're going to get an evaluation from someone besides me. Because you could go and they'll be like, girl, your therapist is crazy. You don't need no meds. So I always want people to get like a second opinion on things. I'm spraying this brush with the Lancome Fix It and Forget It. I've started doing this for my concealer, like spraying the brush and then blending it out. I don't know if it does anything, but I feel like it does. So I was just so happy that Kelly mentioned that, because I feel like it's so important. If you're, you know, in the public eye, you are super influential. And so it's really, I think, normalizing and validating when someone who is like a celebrity or something just talks about their own, not necessarily giving information about their mental health difficulties, but talks about treatment of it. That's what I always appreciate. I don't appreciate as much when people are just like, oh my god, I'm so anxious, I'm so depressed, without talking about the options that you have, you know what I mean? And honestly, celebrities with their financial status, they can usually afford good treatment. And not that, no, I mean, I actually do think everyone should go to therapy, but that's just my belief. But not that you have to, or you have to get medications to help, you manage. But I think it's always important to know your options, and if someone like Kelly Clarkson or any other person, because there have been quite a few celebrities recently, I think, if they sort of normalize it, I think that really helps to decrease the stigma, you know? I feel like I said I was going to talk about something else, but I don't remember. I'm sorry. Oh, y'all. I'm going to go in with my Pat McGrath under eye setting powder. Did you hear about that family in, I think it was New Mexico? And they called the police because they said that they heard like a loud noise and like something landed, some kind of ship or flying object, and they saw some like 8 to 10 foot creatures in their backyard. And let me tell you, it was a whole family. It was a whole family. It was the son, the mama, the daddy, the cousin. Everybody was out there. They came out there with their guns, thinking that they might have to defend themselves against these creatures. And you hear, well, I heard the 911 call, and the guy is like, this is not a joke. Like, there's for real some stuff out here, and we're scared. And so they weren't really believing him. They thought it was just like a joke or something. But then law enforcement shows up, and they're like, you know, we weren't going to come, but one of my partners actually saw or heard something, and so we thought we would come and kind of see what's going on. So they weren't going to come at first, but one of the other law enforcement folks saw or heard something, and they're like, okay, maybe this is for real. So, you know, you can see not the dash cam, the body cam. And, you know, the police are, like, joking, like, you could defend yourself if you have to, blah, blah, blah. And the family is just, you can tell they are, like, shaken to the core. So then, all of a sudden, they notice that there is, like a satellite-y thing on top of their house. Like if somebody's spying on them. I know this sounds like a conspiracy, right? Like if somebody's spying on them and they're all going. And then people are talking about now they ain't heard from the family. I believe them, okay? I believe them. I believe they saw what they saw. And people are coming out like, yeah, I saw something or I heard something. So people are supporting them. And I believe it, y'all. This is the Colored Rain Bronzer in Mocha Queen. I believe it, okay? I feel like beings from other dimensions, planets, whatever, they probably come to Earth and they're like, the hell? We about to get out of here. This is like another planet's hell. But I don't know. I believe it. Shoot. You know what? The universe is too big for us on this little speck called Earth to be the only ones up out here. I listen. If you don't believe it, that's fine. I have my faith, but I also have my science. You know what I mean? But where this family at? Where is this family at? They got them up here in DC in some kind of lab or something? Where they at? Where these beings go? Where's the ship? Tell me all of this, okay? There's like so much stuff that we don't know. I sound like a conspiracy theorist right now. But I'm just like, y'all, if you don't see no more videos from me, I'll just let you know. Something don't happen. It's a conspiracy, okay? Listen, I ain't trying to mess with nobody. Putting that out there. I know y'all listen. Y'all, did you hear or read about the tragic ending of that Titan submersible. Ooh, oh Jesus. And now there's like stories about like some people who were gonna go on it and they like declined, or that the young man that was on it, he didn't really want to go. All this stuff. And I'm just like, I also read that they were like, it would have been easier and safer for these folks to go into space than to go down into the depths of the ocean. Like, we only know a bit about the ocean, right? We don't know all the ins and outs of what's down there, what, you know, could be a whole other world that we don't know about. Maybe Ariel is for real down there, or King Triton or whatever. So, you know, like, I don't think that those people deserved what happened to them. And also, I think actually Obama mentioned this, there are other like maritime tragedies that have happened around the same time, and we haven't heard about it, or it hasn't been like blasted on the news as much, which I think that there are various reasons to why that happened. But I wish that, you know, we were also informed of other things that are going on, because I had no idea until I was like reading the news. Sorry if like the last getting ready with me at work was also about like current events and stuff. It just interests me. I like to kind of know what's going on. Speaking of snails, I can't remember who it was, but one of y'all told me that there were some big ass crickets somewhere. I don't even remember where it was, but I'm like, burn it all down. Like, I just cannot with all these insects. And you know, I was gonna say invading our space, but actually we're invading theirs. But still, like, can I go outside in peace? I don't want to see no big old snail, and I don't want to see no invasion of crickets. Like, can we just chill out? I'm about to move into somebody's church because I feel like it's the end of times. I feel like this whole thing has been a conspiracy-laden theory discussion. So I'm gonna just stop it right now. I'm gonna put on my mascara, find a lip, and then also put on my outfit so I can go ahead and head into my office. So I will be right back. Here is the finished look. Now I'm about to hop in the car and drive to my office. Child, who knows what the parking is gonna look like. Send me good vibes. Anyways, I think that is it. I hope that some of this was helpful. I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Make sure to like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment so we can chat. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.